As a matter of fact, I hate this right here. We get kids from TIU, and so TIU, they'll come in and they're like, I graduated, I got this paper, right? And then it's like this kid, he gets here, 18 years old. Mind you, he owes the school about 40 grand, right? So more now. He owns it that much, right? And then on top of that, right? He's got a toolbox, a Snap-on toolbox for them because ITU, they have like Snap-on stuff, right? They're kind of in cahoots, right? So they're like, hey, before you graduate, you can use this discount, right? And get the stuff. So I feel like they take advantage of these kids. They don't, number one, they spend all that money going to school, right? They got to pay that back. But if you know that these kids are in debt, have to pay all that money back, like why get them into further debt telling them, hey, here's the stuff that, because most of the time these kids are not going to know that, like, hey, I might need to pump the brakes, right? Like just get myself going after, learning all this amazing stuff that this school has taught me, right? And then they get to a shop like this and it's kind of like, well, bro, did they teach you that righty-tighty, lefty-loosey at least, right? Because it doesn't kind of, and it depends. I'm not going to say like, the smarter kids, and usually, the guys that are really, they end up working out really good, like they'll end up going to BMW or something like that, right? Like I'm not saying it's completely bad. There's avenues there, but it just really, it got me sad one day, and I was looking at this 18, 19-year-old kid that came by. He bought a toolbox, but all these, so on top of the whatever $40,000 plus, now he owes 20 grand or 19 grand or even 5 grand, right? Like on top of that, right? It's like that whole mentality is like, well, I'm gonna have to pay it anyways. Well, let's see if we can first, right? With what we learned, can we get right? And then the whole thing of like, man, I need to make more money. I need to go somewhere else. Well, you need to make more. Like you need to make more money because you weren't smart with your money. Like you just dumped all this money in for nothing, right? And then you got those kids coming in. Oh, I think I'm worth $30 an hour, right? And it's one of those things where you're like, okay, well, do a working interview. What can you do, right? Can you at least follow direction? And a lot of times it's like, okay, well, some of them are good. Some of them aren't, whatever. But yeah, that's one of those things that really makes me sad about that situation where we get kids from school that further spent money on all these tools or whatever. Because if you, like you said, like I would say, you'd probably say like, dude, this fool has like just pretty much junk in his toolbox, But all that junk actually helps me make money on a daily basis. And I don't need the other 325 sockets that a full set would come with. I just need these, 20 or 40 sockets that are just making me rock, right? Turn out work, do whatever I need to do. And that's pretty much what I tell my guys, especially the younger guys, like, look, put down a Harbor Freight, like their tools are getting better, you can go on Amazon now and get whatever. And look, you use a tool so much that it breaks and you're like, this tool I can't live without. All right, dude, then go buy that tool at Snap-on. Go buy that tool at Cornwall. Go buy that tool at whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like I'll have sockets like my 10s, 12s, 11, 16, 18, 19, 17, right? Those are all Snap-on. And all the rest of it is like Great Pneumatic or whatever. I don't need like this full, this full whatever. And sometimes you can find those sockets like at garage sales and stuff like that, right. Which is, because the other day, especially now, right? Because we've had such great leadership. So I get on the Snap-on, right? And I try to get a 1/4 inch deep, 5.5, because I use those a lot for taking the fender wells, right? 5.5. So you use those a lot for that. And 5.5, a 7 if you work on Fords or dashes, 7 all day long. A number 10 and a 12, right? So he said, that'll be $60-something. And I'm like, bro, these are 1/4 inch deep, right? Like they're quarter-inch deep. You know, I'm not gonna put any. He said, I know, but it's just, you know, I understand. I understand. I guess that's Snap-on, yeah. Right. So it's kind of like, all right, well, I get it, you know, and I have a really good relationship with my Snap-on dealer. Like the father and son, they're amazing people. Like I just love talking to them when they come here. They're really good people. And of course he was like, all right, you know, I'll discount it, you know, whatever, this and that. So that's great. I wasn't looking for that. And since I had them in my hand already, right, I was just going to pay, whatever, right. I don't, you know, so as far as like a Snap-on account, this is the last thing I bought right here, right? And should I have bought this from Snap-on when there's so many other ones out there that are probably cheaper? Mm-hmm. No, but like I said, I think what we don't have very much nowadays is loyalty, right? We're just chasing that paper, but like the father and son, they've treated me very well throughout these years, right? I bought this from them, you know? So I said, because they're my friends, right? Because they're good people, I'll buy it from them. You know, that kind of, so there's a lot at play here. It's not just like I'll be a cheapskate and do whatever. Sometimes a relationship is more important and you pay a little bit more to keep, you know, because of the relationships, right? But,